Welcome back, America. One of my favorite people, Ben Domenech, is with me. Ben, this administration has funded Iran. It's funding Hamas. It's funding Hezbollah. It's funding the Houthis. Hundreds of billions of dollars in our oil. Iran has attacked us. No effective response to them. The Houthis are now saying, if you want to come through the Red Sea, you got to get a license from us. Mm-hmm. Iran is really weeks, if not months, away from getting a nuclear weapon, and they are trashing the hell out of the state of Israel. Your father-in-law, John McCain, went to the Senate floor, and he said, for a half hour, I don't come here lightly. I don't criticize appointees of another president, especially Obama, who defeated me. Mm-hmm. But this man, Blinken, is dangerous, and he's going to get people killed. And that's when he was up for Deputy Secretary of State. What do you respond to this?
Well, I think that, he's obviously been proven correct. Everything that the senator said at the time, has been shown to be true about Anthony Blinken. And look, we say a lot of the time that we've got kind of the JV team from the Obama era running the show now when it comes to foreign policy, national security, and defense. And I think that this is just proof positive to that. We have seen this administration respond so inadequately to our enemies around the world, the enemies of our allies, in ways that have absolutely allowed them to run roughshod over our interests and emboldened them. They don't really want to go around and actually follow any of the lessons that we've learned over the decades about the importance of deterrence, the importance of showing strength, and not letting our enemies get away with things. Instead, they just wag their fingers and say, well, you've done it again, don't do it again. And of course, that just emboldens our enemies more and more. It creates more risks for our allies, and it undermines them in critical ways when America needs to be backing them up, needs to be standing strongly with them and behind them. And it's a total indictment of this administration. And I think it starts at the top. It starts with President Biden, and it works all its way down from there.
He says he's going to build a temporary port to get food to Gaza because apparently one of the drops killed 5 Palestinians, literally landed on their heads. You have a man of utter and complete incompetence and stubbornness. And he looks at the state of Israel that is fighting like hell with Hezbollah and Hamas, funded all by Iran. They're surrounded. He doesn't put pressure on Iran. He doesn't even put pressure on Hamas. He's got Israel under criminal investigation for possible war crimes. He's issuing executive orders against their citizens in Judea and Samaria. He is literally character assassinating Benjamin Netanyahu publicly, and he said when he came off the floor after his speech, it's now reported that he said to a few Democrat senators, Bibi and I are going to have a come to Jesus moment, don't tell anybody. What is the problem with this man? He really does despise the state of Israel. That's my contention.
I think you're absolutely right. And in fact, in Franklin Foer's book that looks back at previous interactions between Benjamin Netanyahu and Joe Biden, the way that he talks about him and the way that he attempts to manipulate him, it's just an absolute insult to America's greatest ally in the Middle East. And I think it's something that, when you look at the perspective that the president has on Israel, everything is just they're an irritant that needs to be bent to his will. He undermines their interests every which way, and he sees them now, I think, as a domestic political problem. You saw the images of the Gaza protesters who were in the streets trying to block the motorcade to the State of the Union. And I really do feel that this White House is more concerned about their progressive left flank than they are about America's ally Israel. They are more concerned with the 100,000 protest votes that you saw in Michigan, with the uncommitted vote in Minnesota and the like going into this election than they are about the continued existence of the state of Israel and their need to protect themselves from these terrorist villains. And that is just an absolute indictment of their priorities. And here's the thing. First of all, those progressives, they will end up voting for them, just like AOC will still end up voting for him, just like, Rashida Tlaib and people like that will end up voting for him. He doesn't need to do it, but he is, and it's because he doesn't care about Israel or their interests.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.